let's take a look at the back. We already did the basic ones where you cross, multiply, and divide, right? You have to reduce the fractions. Sometimes the numbers get a little large, so like something like 4, we saw the numbers get a little big. So let me show you a little trick. If sometimes it gets too big, here's something you can do. So we still have the 8 times 16. Now I know 15 times 18 is really large, so here's something you can do. Just leave it as 8 times 16 x, and don't forget the negative. There's a negative there, so I'll make this negative. Okay. There we go. Make that negative, and that's going to equal 15 times 18. Now I'm not multiplying them together. Right? Not going to multiply them together. It'll be easier this way because I can divide both sides like I would divide by one number. I'm just going to divide by the negative 8 times 16, whatever that is. Instead of multiplying together, just divide it by the whole thing. And here's where it's nice, is that when you get to this side, right, now these are a little bit easier to reduce. Instead of this big number, whatever 8 times 16 is, and trying to figure that out, I really could just try to reduce something that's already here, like 15 and 8, but that doesn't reduce. I could reduce 18 over 8 or 18 over 16. I could just do those. So both of these are divisible by 2. So 2 goes into 18 9 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. Okay. So a little bit easier to reduce when they're not multiplied together. And I can see that, well, yeah, 8 and 15 nothing works there. 8 and 9, nothing works there. 8 and 15, nothing works. 8 and 9, yeah. So I can tell pretty clearly when it's like this that nothing else will reduce and then multiply together whatever's left over. So you can just figure out what 15 times 9 is, and that's going to be on top of negative 8 times 8. So we'll have negative 64, right? Negative 8 times 8. And then 15 times 9, good to keep a calculator handy. 15 times 9, get 135. I don't really have to worry about, well, is that all the way reduced or not? I can tell because it was already factored right here, and we just canceled it out already. Okay. So that's one trick. And again, on the left-hand side, these cancel out just like normal. The negative 8 over negative 8, 16 over 16. So we get x equals. Okay. So if anything, this is a good review in reducing fractions, factorization, things like that. Okay, so let's flip it over to the back. Take a look. So we have something different. That we have some addition or subtraction on the top here. Okay. Now we're still going to do the same thing, but if we do this over 1, if we do the same thing, we'll do 9 times 1 and get 9, right? And we'll do 1 times this, right? Which really, if we go and write it out this way, 1 times anything is just that anything, so we end up with just that. So when we don't have a denominator here, there's not a real purpose to multiplying these together. We can just write down -1 plus a, whatever it is. And then go through and solve it, do the same steps. -1 plus what is 9. Right, so add 1 to both sides, do the normal steps we've been doing for a while now to solve. Get 10. And of course these you can always do a check, and actually see, does -1 plus 10 over 9, does that actually equal 1? And if you do the work, you'll see that it does. Go back. So let's take a look at, yeah, let's go to 17. You can see, well, this has variables here, variables there. Don't change anything. Don't change what you're doing. So we're still going to multiply here and here. Right? Now be careful. When we multiply 2 times 12 plus x, you have to put the parentheses. And we multiply here, that's just normal 9 times x. But if you don't put those parentheses, things will go wrong. So make sure you keep those in there, right? So we get 2 times 12 and 2 times x equals 9x. And to solve this, I think I'm just going to subtract 2x on both sides, right? Get the x by itself. So subtract 2x on both sides. We have 24 equals 7 times what? And don't worry that 7 doesn't go into 24. You're going to have a lot of fraction answers, and that's okay. Does 24 over 7 reduce? Does anything go into 24 and that goes into 7? Nope. So you just write 24 over 7 is your answer. Equals x. That's perfectly fine. If it doesn't reduce, you just write it one more time with equals x or x equals, and you're okay. Just like before, be careful of a negative. If it has a negative, like on, like here on number 19, make sure you move that negative to the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter which one, but just don't forget about it. Okay. Anything else? Oh, so a good thing to do, just so you don't forget about those parentheses, is just go around each one of these and just put parentheses around the terms here. And that way you won't forget to use the parentheses. Okay. All right, so you can finish up the back now, and we'll do a Khan Academy on this tomorrow. So go ahead and finish up the front and back.